and today I am going to talk to you about the internal structure of plant. The branch of botany or plant biology that deals with the internal structure of plants, that is called anatomy. And here it so happens that I am plant anatomist. I am plant anatomist. That is my specialization is the internal structure of plants. My specialization is the internal structure of plants. So let us look at the internal structure of plants with the help of some slides. Now here I am going to show you these slides of the structure of plants. But before I talk about the structure of plants, I want to tell you about the level of specializations of organisms. And these are different levels of specialization in plants and animals. Let us first talk about the level of specialization of plants. We say cell is the basic unit of all living things. Of course, cells are made up of organelles and molecules, and atom is the basic unit of matter. But as far as living things are concerned, cell is the basic unit of all living things. Similar cells with similar function, they form a tissues. Then the tissues form an organ, and root, stem, and leaf of a plant are the various organs. These organs then form an organ system. The root system and shoot system are the two systems in the case of plant, and then they form organisms. Same is the case with animals. They are shown on the right hand side. You have a nerve cell. They form this nervous tissue, and then they form a brain. And then in the human being, which is an organism, you have different organ system. So this is how we have level of specialization, cells to tissues, to organs, to organ system, and then organism. Okay, now this slide talk about this level of specialization I was just talking. So we have these cells, and then tissues and organs and organism. In the next slide, it tells you about higher level of specialization. When you study plant ecology, you will study these higher levels. Organism of the same species form a population. Population interacting with one another form a community. Community with abiotic environments form an ecosystem. And biosphere is the portion of Earth's surface where all living things exist. So this is how we have these different levels of organization, which you have already seen in the previous slide. Now let us talk about plant tissues. I have already defined a plant tissue, a group of cells which has the same structure and same function. Basically, there are two main types of plant tissues, meristematic tissues and non-meristematic tissues. As far as meristematic tissues are concerned, these are the tissues which have a lot of cell division or mitosis, which you have just studied. So mitosis takes place in meristematic cells. These meristems are divided into three types on the basis of their position. There are some meristems which are at the tip. They are called apical meristem. They are present at root apex and shoot apex. You will just look at the diagram of a root apex and shoot apex. Then there are lateral meristems which are present on the lateral side. Vascular cambium and core cambium are example, and you are going to study them later on. Then the third type is intercalary meristem, which is present in between the mature tissues, and they are found in grasses. So the next slide shows you these apical meristems and lateral meristem. Look at the diagram on the top. This is the shoot apex, where the meristem is present at the tip, and at the bottom is the root apex, where the meristem is present at the tip of the root, little away from the tip. And then on the right hand side, he has shown this lateral meristem, which we are going to study later on. So here again, you can see the root apex and shoot apex. And here I will tell you that there are three subapical meristem. They are called protoderm, procambium, and the ground meristem. They are present both at the root apex and at the shoot apex. Later on, you will learn that protoderm will form the outer surface, epidermis, procambium will form the vascular tissue, and ground meristem is responsible for the formation of all other tissues. This diagram is the shoot apex, and here I have another one which is labeled. I will use this one, and here you can see the tip of the shoot apex has this deeply colored colored cells, red colored cells. This is the proper apical meristem. And then on the sides you have leaf primordia, and in the axil of leaf primordia you have these buds which are called axillary bud. So here you can see the structure of shoot apex. When you will come in the lab, I will show you these slides and explain further this structure of shoot apex. Again, this shows the three meristems, the protoderm, procambium, and the ground meristem. So this is the structure of shoot apex. Again, a black and white diagram of the shoot apex, and here again you can see this shoot apex. Okay, forget about these two diagrams. I am not going to discuss these two diagrams which shows the various types of meristems. This you will study later on. This is the section, this is a slide of longitudinal section of root apex, and here again you can see the three meristem, the procambium, the ground meristem, and the protoderm. Here again you can see the root apex, and tip is occupied by the root cap, and there are these three meristem, protoderm, procambium, and the ground meristem. So this is what we have as far as meristematic tissue is concerned. And in the class, I will elaborate this a little bit more when you come and join me in the class, and you can ask questions if you have some more questions about the meristematic tissue. Then the non-meristematic tissue, they are the one where mitosis will normally not take place. The cells which are formed by meristem will differentiate, and they become different in structure, origin, and function. The tissues can be simple or they can be complex. If they have only one kind of cell, they are called simple tissues. If they have more than one type of cell, they are called complex tissues. The next slide shows the different types of non-meristematic tissues: parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, xylem, phloem, secretory tissue, and epidermis. These are the various types of non-meristematic cells. Here we are talking about the tissues produced by these meristems, and he has defined again simple kind of tissue and complex type of tissues. Parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma are examples of simple tissue. Xylem and phloem are examples of the complex tissues. Let us start with this parenchyma tissue. Parenchyma tissue is the most abundant and is found in all parts of the plant. The fruits that you eat, the vegetables that you eat, they have a lot of parenchyma. Parenchyma cells are spherical in shape, and later on they may assume other shapes, and they contain many things. These are food material, pigments, and other things. They have spaces between them. In the case of water plants, they have a lot of spaces. I will show you the diagram, and these are called aerenchyma, when you have a lot of spaces. In some cases, the parenchyma contain chloroplast, and this is called chlorenchyma. When it contains chloroplast, then it becomes a chlorenchyma, and this chlorenchyma is involved in photosynthesis. Storage parenchyma is found in roots and stem, and it lives for a long time. In plants like cacti, it stores water. And you remember that parenchyma is very close to meristematic cell. Normally, it does not divide, but it can divide. So here you have this diagram of parenchyma cells. This is in the roots of a plant, and these store starch. You have seen potato. You have seen section of potato, and they are made up of parenchyma cells, and you have seen that they have a lot of starch grains. They are not shown in this diagram, but when you put iodine, you found that they turn blue, because of the presence of starch. Okay, the next tissue is collenchyma. Collenchyma have living cytoplasm and their walls are uneven. They have uneven thickening and pectic material is present in their wall. They are found under the epidermis and they have pliable walls. This is characteristic feature of collenchyma. And these cells are longer than wide. What is function of collenchyma? It provides flexible support to the plant body. So this is the function of collenchyma. Here you have a diagram which shows this collenchyma. You can see these brown colored thing are the thickenings which are present at the corner in collenchyma cells. Underneath that is the parenchyma tissue. Okay, this is the end of this recording, and we will continue with this study of this tissue in the next PowerPoint. Thank you.